Welcome. This is the second session after Sandra's first initial session where we set down a few goals. We're going to be talking on the agenda today about three of those goals. So the two short-term goals and one of the long-term goals, because one is not hasn't been met yet. Now, what else we're going to be doing today is making sure that we go through any new concerns for Sandra today, and that we try to work collaboratively together to figure out what we can do to help you, Sandra, with your situation. Okay, thank you for joining again on this follow-up session. It's been 2 weeks since our last catch-up. Can you explain the goals in which we talked about, because you have them there with you, and also if you can explain how you went with those goals, that will be very, very handy. Okay, over to you. It's up to you now. You can let us know.
Thank you, Julie, for having me.
Yeah.
Number one, I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the counselling advice you've advised for me in regards to what I had to do in so that I can get away from my very abusive husband, who hasn't been treating me and my kids very well.
Yeah.
As in regards to my short-term goal, basically he was putting my life, he was basically threatening my life. He was threatening to kill me. So in turn, I had to get out of there, basically, Okay. So it's something that I will not put up with.
Yeah. So the first short-term goal, we'll go back to the first short-term goal. What was that? Because you have it in front of you.
Okay, so my first short-term goal was creating an escape plan, which I've done, to be honest. So
just a curious question, where are you staying? Like, what's happening with that? And why did you have to leave?
So basically, Julie, is what happened was that I left my husband and I went to my friends who have been looking after me this whole entire time. So basically it just started him with controlling me, controlling my life, controlling my money, controlling on who I can and cannot see.
Yeah.
And I really don't want that.
Yeah. And that's fair enough. So your escape plan was to go and stay at the safe house that's your friends, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Did you do anything else with your escape plan? Because I know that I gave you some information about getting a cell, changing your cell number, making sure that you're safe, making sure that you don't go in where he can find you, sort of thing. So with those things that we discussed, how did you go with that? I know that you said that you've got a friend. Is it safe? Is it? He doesn't know where you are. All that sort of stuff.
No, he doesn't know where I am.
That's good.
I'm at a disclosed location where he cannot find me.
Yeah.
So no one knows where I am. Not even my own family. They don't know where I am.
But have you contacted your family just to say hi?
Yep.
Okay,
I've
good.
checked in with my family and said,
Awesome.
Look, I'm safe. I'm away from my husband. Things are fine.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about me anymore. I've changed my bank account details.
Yep.
I've changed my cell phone number.
Yeah.
I've even gotten a haircut, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of changes.
Well,
Julie,
that's good.
in regards to that.
The escape plan. Good. Okay. And what's the the feeling, like how are you feeling now that you are not in that dangerous situation, I suppose is a nice way to say it.
Well, look, as long as I'm not away, well, not away, but as long as I'm not anywhere near my abusive husband who used to control my finances, who used to control my social status, who didn't like any of my friends, and who used to take it out on my kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm feeling a lot happier, a lot lighter. I can talk to you if I have any problems.
And I'm
I can
guessing,
talk to my
yeah,
friend
nice.
who is, who has who I have as support for me.
Nice, nice. I'm so happy about that. Um, Something popped into my head and I stopped myself. I just thought
Right,
I should
okay.
stop myself. But how are your
Okay,
kids going? So obviously you've taken you and your kids out of the situation. They're not
definitely.
they're not there. So how are
No,
your
they're not.
kids coping? And how long have you been outside of the danger?
Well, look, I took my kids out, and they're feeling a little bit sort of like, whoa, this is a different like scenario altogether because
Yeah.
they're not used to my friend,
Mm,
whereas they're used to their own father.
of course, yeah.
So but they've sort of taken me aside and said, Mom, we are happy that you're not with our father anymore. That was really, it wasn't a really good situation for you and
Yeah.
him.
Mm,
So, we're happy that, you're no longer in those circumstances.
mm.
Um, so, I mean, as long as my kids are happy, Julie, that's all that matters.
I'm
You
so
know, and
glad.
it's been like 6 months. So I'm slowly progressing.
Hmm.
It's just a slow thing for me to do because I went from having an abusive husband to not having an abusive husband and having that support where I can rely on my friends, on you, on any help that I require out there. And they are there to help me
Wonderful.
through this, really bad situation that I'm in.
Wonderful. I just need to know the second goal. What was the second goal we came up with?
Okay, so the second safe goal is to contact support services for DV survivors.
So
So look,
you touched upon that just then. So obviously you've contacted the couple of support numbers that I gave you. Is that
I
correct?
have, I
Yeah.
have.
And they've
So one of them was to open another bank account, which I've done,
mhm,
and I've also contacted Services Australia.
yeah.
So
And
they've been
and
really good to me.
yeah, and they've given you the grant that's there and all of
Yep,
that sort of
yep,
stuff. You've applied for all of
yep.
that. So that's
So that
that's
me and my kids
awesome.
can move on with life,
That's
and so
awesome.
that we don't think about, what's going to happen next. Well, we're going to get, our next plate of
Mhm.
food, all that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. And so how is that? How are they treating you? I know that you're getting the counselling and the case study
Yep,
work done with me, but
yep.
how are they treating you as a service, as that extension of the skills that I don't have, that I can't provide for you? So do you feel very much supported? Not supported? Is there any sort of improvement that I can give them feedback about?
Look, Service Australia have been wonderful ever since I escaped from my abusive husband, and they've just been a rock. And you also, Julie, I so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single thing you do for me and my
Oh,
kids. It's been really hard. You have
yeah,
no idea.
yeah,
It's so hard.
yeah. It
Being a
is.
single mom and raising three young kids, I mean,
Yeah,
it's not easy.
yeah. I understand that. I totally get that. So we will see if we can set some goals around that, and see if we can move forward, and see if we can get your kids some help. So there's supports all
Okay.
around you. Um,
Yeah.
I'm happy to see if we can collaborate some ideas for that. But the last one I wanted to talk to you about, which is something that
Sure.
I've instilled in our little counselling,
Yep.
you were for the long-term goal, because it's going to be done over the next 6 weeks,
Of course.
when we catch up, were the
Mm-hmm.
2 videos. So obviously
Yep.
you've gotten away and you've had the freedom now. You've got a phone
That I have.
and you can
Yep,
and then
that I
and you
have.
can YouTube those videos.
Absolutely.
Um, can you explain how that made you feel? Was that something that helped catalyst the move, and help you decide that this is a little bit full on, or is it just something that is sort of like, oh, not so eye-opening or not so interesting? How are you going with those?
Look, in regards to the videos, I found one video not really very informative. Whereas the second video I watched that you sent through to me, I found very informative, and I'm like, okay, yes, I can do this. Sandra, yes, you can do this. You can get those 3 kids of yours out of an abusive relationship. Go to your friends, and she will support you the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And Julie, by your side, she'll be there to support you 100%.
Okay. So what do you need me to do? Okay. So are you wanting, because our goal, big long-term goal, is every 2 weeks we catch up and and I send you 2 videos. Are you still wanting to do those 2 videos?
Yes,
And
please,
yep,
yes,
okay, not a problem. So we'll jot that down for that. Thank you for keeping on the agenda and really smashing it out for me today. It's helped me focus. Now,
You're very welcome.
I hear your worry about your kids, and this is what I
am.
want to go back to. I want to see what you think we can do to help your kids. Do you think setting up maybe an appointment with a counsellor, school counsellor? What are your thoughts around that? Have you had thoughts around that?
Oh, look, they haven't. Since the 6 months I've been away from my husband, they haven't really technically gone to school because they don't feel as though they are ready to attend school because of what's been happening lately. So I'd like for you guys, if you can, to maybe put me into touch, like with a counsellor of some kind, so that they can, be excited to go back to school, be excited to learn,
So
be excited to be around others.
yep. So
They don't have that at the moment
yeah, I
because
can
of
hear
what
that.
is happening.
Yeah. So what we need to do is, I think, hearing the goal is set up a school for them. Within the school, they have what's called school counsellors, I'm aware of,
Okay.
and every school is like that. I'm guessing because of the lack of finances, maybe you're looking for a public school and a fairly good public school. So we can
Yeah,
discuss the area that you're
definitely.
living in now, and then we can move into finding the public school for your children
Okay.
to go into the relevant classes that they need to.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Understanding that there's been a long gap between that. We're coming to the end of the year, so we'll look over it and give all that information over to their new school. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Sounds good.
so that's the second goal.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think, and it's achievable, and it's I think we can do that for you. That's part of the service that I provide.
Okay.
So I can help you with that. So we can sit in the next session, or we can do a special session where we
Sure.
can sort out the school for them, because I think that's a more urgent thing to do.
Absolutely.
For your children. Now, what are your children's ages again?
Okay, so the youngest one I have is 3.
Yep.
The next one is 5.
Yep.
And the other one is 8.
So the 5 and 8-year-old will be going to school, obviously. So we need to make sure that that's all support systems are set up, because you have yours set up so far. So
Absolutely.
we will do that for
Okay.
your children. We will get what I'm hearing, exterior counselling for your children, and make sure the school counsellor is up to date with everything, and their new teacher can catch them up on their schoolwork.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's what usually will happen, and we can all sit around with the school and deal with this delicate topic. Very gingerly, and make sure that we're advocating here
Yeah,
at Julie and Cindy's counselling services
yeah,
to
of course.
be able to get the right fit for you and your
Sure.
children.
Yeah,
Um,
look, I just don't want my kids to miss out on schooling. I think that education is a big part of their life, and since me and their father has, you know, whatever happened between me and their father, I mean, you know, it's imperative they have that education, you know, so they can grow up and say, hey, you know, I did, I did my education. I did until year 12. I can continue, you know, and not really worry too much about it, you know.
awesome.
And they can go at whatever path they choose to, whether it's TAFE or uni or college even, doesn't really matter.
Okay. So we've got the two new goals.
Yep.
For short term, and then we're continuing on with the long term goal. Okay,
Yep.
so I will summarize. That's my summary. That's pretty much what we need to do. I will
Beautiful.
end this session now, and we'll book in for
Okay,
another
beautiful.
2 weeks. So I'll send you out. I'll get you to call us up at the reception, and see
Okay.
maybe if we can get you into the office this time. I'd love the over the thing, and understand the autonomy that you're needing because it was over the internet. But
Yep.
hopefully in the next 2 weeks you'll feel a little bit more safer, that you can venture out and come into the office next time.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Julia.
Okay.
I'm still sort of like looking
Behind you,
like
yeah.
looking behind me at all times, just in case. And I'm thinking, what if this? What if that? What if he sees me? You know, what
Yeah.
if he sees me without the kids? Then he'll question me. Where are the kids?
Yeah.
You
Look,
know,
I
I'm
get
a
all
little
that.
bit
Yeah.
scared
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
I understand the fear, but let's work towards that as well. So we'll set that as an emotional goal to try to get you out here, or maybe to a neutral place. Okay, so that you can get out and learn that you can be okay out there.
Yep. Okay.
And he's not everywhere. So that's where we've got to learn about that. Okay, but thank you so much for this
Okay.
session, and we'll see you in a couple of
Thank you
weeks,
so
hopefully.
much, Julie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
You take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.